You're listening to the February 27th, 2016 reading of Blossom Goodchild's channeling with the Federation of Light.
Hello there. Having arrived back on the planet after swimming with the dolphins in Hawaii, I feel rather swimmy in mind. Without doubt, those dollies upgrade the soul self, and indeed, it takes a while to come back down to earth after being in their presence. So I'll leave it to you, my friends, as to the order of the day, if I may.
Welcome back. We, of course, enjoyed being with you in the waters of that isle and allowed the oceanic waves to encompass you and bring you to a lighter disposition.
Certainly the dolphins have something about them. Just being so close to, with them, in the water is an uplifting boost to any soul. I'm truly grateful to have had the opportunity, and I'll make it happen that I experience them again someday. So, back to normality. Should we maybe speak about the many earths that you spoke of in the last channeling?
If you so wish. Yet, we understand that many are already aware of this, due to the knowledge now gained regarding the fact that everything is possible. In this vast space of life, upon all planets, universes, galaxies, and beyond, how could there be limitations? Therefore, considering the possibility of innumerous parallel lives, how then could there not be parallel Earths to go with them?
Yes, I see that, for sure. So maybe then you could talk about the focus regarding this parallel stuff.
Are we understanding that you are asking how to become more aware of such parallels?
Yes.
Wherever your attention is residing, so you are. Therefore, whatever you are thinking about, so you are.
Yet I could be thinking about the dolphins in Hawaii, and yet I'm in this room in Noosa.
And yet, if you were to fully focus, close your eyes, and fully focus, your entire being could be there in the water.
Yet not physically, not in what I would call my reality.
And what would you call your reality, dearest Blossom? For this is the key, the huge key that unlocks the doors to all that one seeks, all realities. For it is so, there cannot be just one. There are endless possibilities to the reality in which you decide to be real.
Yet it feels like we don't have the choice. It feels like we're stuck here living a life on planet Earth and all that goes with it.
Because that is where your focus lies, at this time, in this reality. Though, consider, if you will, that in another time, in another reality, your focus is accepting that world as real. It is all going on at the same time. Many aspects of yourself are experiencing many varied ways of living, all at the same time. For there is no future or past. There is only now. Though what we would call time jumping, although there is no time, you can be united with another aspect of yourself. You could either observe that other aspect or become that other aspect by literally entering into the soul of that other you. And keeping in mind that there are many of yous. Consider, too, that you are all the one energy. Therefore, every other soul that is you.
Yet, are there more me's that one should connect with other than you's? If that makes any sense at all. I know what I mean, but do you?
Yes, in that you are speaking of another aspect of your soul in particular, even though you recognize you are all one.
Yes, it's very complicated to describe, to get down to the nitty-gritty of it in words, isn't it?
Have we not mentioned this many times, dearest Blossom? That which is, is. To try sometimes to explain what is very complicated. For is everything that exists. You are aware that there is no separation from the whole, the oneness. You just think, feel this is so, due to the experience chosen at this time. You're also choosing to have that individuality within many other experiences, within many other aspects of that individuality, within many other worlds and bodies. It is for you, as one, choosing to be an individual, that you then agree to be many aspects of yourself elsewhere. And yet, if one chose, and if it was agreed by other individuals, you could also experience their experience as yours, because it is yours, because you are all the one energy. Are you able to follow this?
Yes, I am, surprisingly enough. Yet that may be because you're assisting me to understand it, as you're in my head as you speak of it. I hope others are able to get it too.
So, to assist further, if you chose to, right now, you could experience living within the energy of a dinosaur, or an ant, or a dragon, or an elf, or a monkey, or an asthopod.
A what?
Our point. Who is to say that just because you have not heard of an asthopod, that it does not exist? Or maybe that it does not exist yet, because it has not been invented through thought.
Aha. May I catch you out? I doubt it. If everything is going on all at the same time, surely it has to have already been invented. It has to exist now, even though it hasn't been discovered.
That is an admirable consideration. Yet, we would wish to express that it is already there. Everything is already there in the now, for there is no other time. Yet it could, perhaps, that it has not yet been tapped into, been brought into consciousness through thought. This is what we are trying to explain, Blossom. Energy is continual. It contains everything that is. And energy is everything that one desires to manipulate into form. Energy is every feeling that one desires to feel. It is everything one desires to be. And this energy is called love. That is why we explain that love is everything, and there is nothing else. All that is experienced in the never-ending infinity of life, form, is that energy of love. May we put it this way to assist? A child in your world has a substance called Play-Doh. It is one mass of itself, a round ball, shall we say. And from this mass, the child can create any form it wants. A house, a sausage, a baby, anything that its mind wishes to make out of that dough. Yet that baby, house, sausage are still part of the original mass. They can never not be. And is it not so that at the end of that playtime, the house, the sausage, and the baby are then molded back into the ball, back into the oneness from where they were derived? Yet they could never be separated. They were still of the same essence of the original ball, even though they were experiencing themselves as playing the part of a house, a baby, or a sausage. Do you see?
Yes, nicely put.
And then we would add that once returned into the mass, at another playtime, that same piece of the whole that was once a house may then be recreated into a tree or a star or water, just playing another role.
Okay, then here's another tricky question. If that same piece of dough is put back and recreated, then wouldn't that mean that it was done so further down the line in time, so to speak? Because when it was the house, and not the tree or star or water. So how could it be all those things in the now when it was experiencing being just the one thing at that time?
Very good question indeed.
Good grief. There's a pause in you answering. Don't tell me you can't answer it.
We are merely forming it into words, which is proving to be rather tricky, as you say. Take the ball of energy as in its completeness, before it was created into forms of experience. There it was, in its fullness, knowing nothing else other than itself, in its whole self, as it is, complete, perfect. In order to expand, for energy is never still, it is always moving, for that is its nature. It decided to break away into different images of itself. Yet each image, creation, is a unique part of that whole. Therefore, all transformative experiences of itself happen, keeping in mind there is no time, all at once.
This is getting complicated to explain.
A drop of water in the ocean is still and always will be part of that ocean. It will always experience the moving flow of the tide, even though it may be still when another drop many miles away may be raging. It is still part of the same thing, going on at the same time. Yet, it may be experiencing that same thing at the same time very differently.
To be honest, I've always found this everything going on at once thing very confusing, and I can't say this conversation is unconfusing it.
Because you are conditioned to look at your timeline as linear. You look at it from a horizontal perspective. An example, stretching along as opposed to a vertical perspective, when it is all on top of each other, going on at the same time.
Even though there is no time.
Exactly. So look at the vertical perspective as a space, a place, a bit of a huge, many-storied building, many rooms, many floors, stacked one on top of the other. So much going on within each room, within each floor, and when in one particular room, on one particular floor, that feels like that is all there is, that is where your focus is. Yet, get on the elevator, press a button, any number you choose, and you will find yourself on another floor, at another level, in another room, experiencing what is taking place there. And that is where your focus becomes your reality. And yet, somewhere in that building, the focus you were concentrating on still exists. It is all still continuing. Yet, your focus is not there. It is now on another floor.
Thanks. That helps a bit. A little bit. More drugs, anyone? I think I'll take my leave today, before my mind blows up, and I'm in need of it to accomplish other things today. Many thanks, my friends. Nice to be back in touch.
Nice to be in touch. Our love reaches into your beings and connects on a deeper level than you perhaps realize. For this, we are most grateful.
In love and thanks.